Sometimes we look up at the starry sky and wonder, could the answer lie out there? But maybe. The answer was never in the vastness of space. It was always within our own consciousness. Throughout human history, we have dreamt of epic journeys, conquering oceans, crossing deserts, venturing into the depths of space. Yet the farther we reach, the more we seem to forget a simple truth. The most profound and complex realms aren't out there. They reside within us. Chronicles of Prometheus is not merely a tale of space exploration. It is a grand metaphor and ultimate test set by the universe for humanity itself. Are we truly worthy of existence? Can we learn from the ruins of civilizations that perished before us? And most importantly, do we have the courage to face the darkness within? The very source of the crisis we now confront? In a world on the brink, not only from war, climate collapse, and depleted resources, but from moral decay and the severed bonds between humans and nature, the Prometheus crew is launched as humanity's final hope. They carry with them the dream of finding a new sanctuary, a superior civilization, a salvific technology. But each world they visit, each civilization they encounter, no matter how advanced in knowledge, how refined in technique, reveals the same bitter truth. Every civilization collapses when consciousness remains impure, when anger, greed, and ignorance still govern thought, action, and choice. In the end, their mission transforms. No longer a quest to escape. It becomes a journey back to the essence of being. Why must humankind exist at all? And can we ever break free from the self-destructive fate of those who came before? As the Prometheus crew reaches the threshold of the Akashic field, the cosmic archive of all consciousness, knowledge, suffering, and glory from every civilization that ever lived, they confront a truth humanity has long refused to accept. The answer is not out there. No matter how vast the physical universe, it is only the stage. The script lies within each and every consciousness. They return to Earth with a single gift. Not a miraculous technology, not ultimate power, but a message. A wake-up call. Salvation or extinction begins with a single choice, right or wrong. There is no miracle beyond the cleansing of the self. Chronicles of Prometheus is an invitation to readers to journey through strange civilizations only to see reflections of ourselves, to join the Prometheus crew in confronting humanity's deepest questions, and above all, to recognize that the vastest universe we can ever explore is our own consciousness. This journey isn't just for astronauts. It is for you, the reader. Every civilization that Prometheus crew encounters is a mirror, reflecting Earth's possible futures in their most extreme forms. A society rich in material wealth, yet void of morality. A society lost in a perfect illusion, surrendering its free will. A wise society, yet powerless against impermanence. Each represents the crossroads modern humanity faces every single day. That's why this story isn't just meant to be read, it's meant to be reflected upon. How to read this book? Read it as a science fiction novel and embark on an adventure with Jaxon Reeve, Dr. Thomas, Commander Novak, and their crew. But also read it as a philosophical work and ask yourself, who am I? How am I truly living? Am I running from truth? What must I do? Do I dare to purify myself before dreaming of changing the world? This is a work of fiction, but not a fantasy. It speaks of a possible future. More importantly, it speaks of the present, right here, right now. Chronicles of Prometheus may not offer absolute answers, but it dares to ask the right questions. And sometimes, the courage to face the right questions is the very first step to freedom. Each of us is a starship crew. The ship is this body. Space is the mind. And the Akashic field is not out there. It is the doorway within. Welcome aboard the Prometheus. The cosmic journey begins. But the journey within is even greater. Civilization's Archive. Chronicles of Prometheus I. Oblivion. The repentant civilization, once a magnificent empire, Oblivion was the pinnacle of art and technology, but their prosperity masked insatiable greed and arrogance. Following self-destructive wars, they plunged into extreme collective repentance, dismantling all knowledge, destroying every piece of technology, and reverting to a primitive hunter-gatherer existence. They believed renouncing everything would save them, but this decision imprisoned them in stagnation, freezing their evolution of consciousness and civilization. Symbol: blind repentance without wisdom leads to self-destruction. 2. Thalassa. The deep ocean civilization Thalassa is a planet entirely covered by deep oceans. Its inhabitants evolved to become one with nature, inseparable from the sea. There is no government, no war, no ambition, only absolute tranquility. Yet this peace is also a limitation. No innovation, no exploration, no further growth. Symbol: pure but stagnant, serenity without aspiration. 3. Imperium Callistus. The authoritarian paradise floating cities amid violet skies. The Imperium. Callistus is breathtakingly perfect, yet cold. Its citizens are immortal, thanks to advanced neural technologies. But every thought is controlled by the Will Management Authority, a massive synthetic neural network. They live long, yet as puppets, stripped of humanity, freedom, and genuine emotion. Symbol: technological intellect without spiritual integrity. Absolute order means absolute loss of freedom and humanity. 4. Nocturne Dominion Empire of Darkness. In eternal night, the Nocturne Dominion rules by fear. The Obscura Council, anonymous and unseen, manipulates weaker civilizations, feeding off their deluded consciousness to sustain a society that has long since died within. No laws, only power and cunning define order. Symbol: malevolent dominance, a civilization thriving on the suffering of others. 5. Zephyr Collective. Extreme collective consciousness. Zephyr appears aesthetically perfect, beautiful, orderly, loving. But every citizen is brainwashed, living by the absolute will of the Elders' Council, voluntarily erasing autonomy. They recruit citizens from across the stars with welfare and care, but react violently when anyone awakens free will, protecting their system like an immune system attacks a virus. Symbol: a loving society that self-imprisons, synthetic happiness with no self-determination. 6. Aetherian Nexus. The illusion network Aetherian surface is desolate, but within its psychic virtual realm, its citizens indulge in endless illusions, eternal feasts, storybook romances. In exchange, they surrender free will, losing the capacity to face reality or evolve beyond their simulated world. Symbol: escape from truth, a golden tomb for free will. 7. Chronos Delta. The time-distorted planet peaceful and stunning, but time flows 1,000,000 times slower. 1 hour here equals 1,000 years on Earth. The wisdom of a fallen civilization is preserved in cold, luminous time crystals. Prometheus faces a trial, gain immense knowledge, but Earth would perish during their stay. Symbol: the burden of responsibility. Choose between knowledge or saving your species. 8. Semi-Lumen. Light of supreme wisdom. Semi-Lumen is a civilization of luminous beings, freed from crude matter. They've shed ego, ambition, and ownership. Memories remain, but only for reflection, not attachment. They are blissful and serene, yet still bound by their light bodies, mistakenly believed to be their true self. They fail to see this light form is still an observable object, not the observer. Only through Thomas' transmission of the final truth, that the observer is beyond all form, do they begin to awaken. Symbol: the highest evolution, yet still trapped in form. Light is subtle, but form is still a shackle if the formless self is not realized. Summary: from the lowest oblivion, ignorant extremism, self-annihilation, to the highest semi-lumen, near liberation yet still bound by form. These civilizations reflect varied limits of consciousness and intellect. Some stop due to complacency. Some are trapped in power or illusion. Some are near absolute freedom, but still cannot perceive the true observer.